Hey everybody, and welcome back to another fun episode of 7 Days to Die. This episode, I'm afraid to say, I pre-recorded way ahead of time, and I went so long in it that I actually had to split it into two different parts and put them together. Pretty much this episode is going to be me not only getting resources and things that I need to continue with what I'm working on, but also mining underneath our base. That way I can start to make the tunnel to our stronghold. So, yeah. Right now when I'm recording this, I think it's November 5th or 6th. I don't remember. But, yeah, right now we're in the middle, or nearing the end of the presidential debate. No, not debate, election. Sorry, a little everywhere now. I'm outside right now having a smoke and just trying to relax after a long week. Hope you guys are having a nice week yourselves. So this is kind of like a little bit of a podcast talking about what's happening nowadays and what's going on. If anything, I might just talk about what's going on. So right now, as it sits apparently to the Electoral College for the presidency, and what we've been seeing on CNN, Fox, and everything, because we're watching everything. The only website that thinks that Biden is really far ahead is Google. Everyone else is putting Biden at 253, Trump at 214, and Google is saying that Biden is at 264. They already said that he won Arizona. So, right now we are fighting. Biden is fighting for Pennsylvania. If he gets Pennsylvania, that's 20 electoral college points, and he immediately passes 270, and he is the next president of the United States. If Trump wins it, which it's looking very doubtful. I will say that right now. It is looking very doubtful. But if he wins Pennsylvania, that means he is still in the running. He is not completely out, but the thing is, with Arizona and Georgia is now being recounted, but with those two states also voting for Biden, Nevada going highly for Biden as well, we are looking at possibly Biden easily winning those. And Trump is also deciding that we should stop counting in most states. What he doesn't realize with that is, it's kind of fucking him over. Just under the fact that so many states are high for Biden, that if he says, or if he tries to go, no more, we're not going to vote anymore, we're not going to accept any more votes, we're not going to count any more votes, he's pretty much shooting himself in the foot. One, Biden is ahead in Pennsylvania. That's 20 electoral college votes. Arizona, Biden is ahead. Technically, Nevada, he's ahead. Georgia, technically he was ahead, but that's 4,000 points, so that's an immediate recount. Just right now, because of how everything is going, the votes are a big part of it, because that's what helps us with the Electoral College. So, for the people who don't know, because there's one part I don't understand about who says how much one state has for electoral colleges, but pretty much it goes like this. For me, my county, for how we all voted in my county, of course there's different counties for every state. How you vote, say red or blue, if, say, there are more blue than red, that county is then blue or red, depending. And depending on how high that side of the aisle voted, that state becomes that color. And then the senators and everybody, all the elected officials are voting that color. So like this, Wisconsin, where I live, a lot of counties were red, a lot were blue. More blue votes than red. Therefore, even the Republican senators had to vote blue. and thus the Electoral College of 10 points from Wisconsin went to Biden. Trump, on the other hand, wants Michigan, Wisconsin, and I think he even put one into Georgia before they even said that they were going to recount. He wants them all recounted. He wants, for some reason, he believes there are illegal voters and illegal votes. I don't know what classifies you as an illegal vote if all these officials who are watching these polls very carefully and are able to go, okay, you live where? Okay, where do you... Okay, can I see your ID? Okay, thank you. And even in some cases, can I see your last check so I can see your mailing address? Cool, thank you. Then they vote. How is that illegal? It doesn't help that both Biden and Trump are now receiving more votes than even during the Obama-McCain and Obama Mitt Romney elections. They have now surpassed Obama, who was originally the most voted for president in United States history. Biden right now is at 74, a little bit over 74 million people. 74 million people have voted for this man. It also doesn't help that this election is also pretty much the largest election anyone's ever seen, with seeing more voters than any other election. Now, I know in the past I have given my piece on the president and what he needs to correct, but I've never given any issue with Biden. I agree a little bit that Biden wants to change a few things. I don't agree with his green idea. I don't agree with the whole spend millions and millions upon almost billions of dollars renovating homes and buildings to make them green. I don't. If it's people's homes or someone owns an office building, leave them alone. It's not up to you what they do. But if it's a government official building, like, say, the FBI building, the CIA, or whatever, do that. They want to make... But he has good points, too. Like, trying to reinstitute community police, where it's one officer for the community. Sorry, I took a hit off my cigar. But, yeah. That's a good idea, to have one officer patrolling a community, especially a black or Hispanic community who do not trust the cops. People in New York who have, say, a regular cop who walks down the street can vouch for this, that makes it more of a personal and more of a relaxing experience. You're not dealing with 4 different cops who don't know anything about you, anything that's going on in the community, but, say, a guy you've seen walking down the street, someone you've talked to, someone you've hung out with, someone who played with your kids, something along that line. That's a great idea. Why Trump never decided, yeah, let's get white or black or Hispanic, hell, even Asian police officers to go to these different communities who are afraid or are completely against the police. Who are completely against the police. Why don't we go out and bring these communities back together? Even during this COVID pandemic, we could be showing that these officers are not just, oh, I got a badge, I got a gun, I'm in charge of you, you guys don't get to say anything, you guys don't get to do anything. It would be smart. But Trump didn't do it. Biden is looking at doing this. And Harris, being the ex-DA, I believe, of San Francisco, she is even in a better spot because she kind of knows how officers have to work. She knows, okay, this is correct, this is incorrect, this is abuse of power, this is not. So they're not going to be putting the racist white cop in a, say, black or Hispanic neighborhood where he will have problems, which is good. But the bad thing about this on the other flip side is then you are stretching the police force a little thin. Say you have someone 3 blocks away get hurt and the police officer over there is in need of help. Sorry guys, it's a little late here and I didn't do a full day at the foundry, so I'm going to be yawning a little bit. I'm going to take periodic breaks to take a sip off my lemonade or a puff off my cigar. I think my cigar just actually went out. But yeah. So yeah, I agree yet I disagree with that with Biden. Also, Biden wants to raise the national minimum wage. That's good for some people, but I kind of agree with what a few of my friends say. I don't see 15 like he wants being a good thing. I can see 12. I can see 12. But 15 might be a little high. Just because of, well, you gotta pay people 15, which is well over double, or which is well over timesing the current minimum wage of $7.25 by 2. It might make some companies pretty much fall out because they can't afford that. If someone can barely afford paying their workers $7.25, how on earth are you going to be able to get them to work when it's 15? The other thing is, yeah, it's a great idea. There's always a good and a bad side to this. I'll even admit, Trump I'll take that back. Trump never had any ideas. He even let our people die because he didn't want to cause a panic, but the panic would have been, okay, well, what do we need to do? Literally, that would have been the panic. So, with that being said, back to what I was speaking about with the whole 15, he wants to raise it there, and it's good because that means not only are you paying people more and they're able to spend more and are able to save more, but at the same time, companies are able to pay that are going to be able to are going to be able to raise their prices. And that is just awesome. I mean, if you're working right now at, say, McDonald's and they're paying you $7.25, nothing wrong with that. Great. It's an okay job. You're working, you're earning money. But at the same time, no one wants to be working there and then suddenly, oh, we're gonna make you work this and this and this, and they don't pay you well for it. Where you had to bust your ass on a 60-hour job and you're barely making enough to scrape by. I know that from making $10.25 over at the gas station next to me, and yeah. So, sorry about that, but yeah, the 15 would help out greatly because then you can be like, okay, $15 an hour, 60 days a week, so that's 60 times 10, so that's already 600 right there. Not even adding $5 more for the 60, which is 15, 20, 25, 30. So that's 30. So, so that's easy right there, $900. And that being said, what's that, my phone? I am actually recording this right now on my phone, so you guys are going to hear background noise, like my sandals, that's my sandals on the cement floor out in the garage. You're going to hear trucks and cars pass by, and I'm sorry about that. But, yeah, I'm not at my computer right now. I wanted to get away for a minute so I can go outside and sit down, have a cigar, have some lemonade, and the next part of this video, which will be marked as days I think it's 83 and 84. Because I do this is 3 days. Just so you know. And the Hoard isn't all that bad. We even get a new gun, so it's not all that bad. But, yeah. The presidential election is causing a lot of, not strife, but a lot of hiccups at my other job, at AFK. Most of my coworkers are Republican. Nothing wrong with that. But when you're supposed to be a professional, not bringing your political views into the workplace, when you're not supposed to be doing anything like that along the lines of, hey, what do you think of this? Hey, what do you think of this? Or, hey, what are you doing with this? Hey, would you do this? That's where it gets unprofessional. Like, I understand if you want to talk about it, that's one thing. But when I walk in on the first day of the election and they're all cussing and hoo-haing and crowing about, oh, Biden's rigging the election, oh, Biden's doing this, oh, Biden's doing that. And Biden has been the one running a clean campaign compared to Trump, who has not been. That's the nicest way to put it. But, yeah. By the way, just because I'm on this subject with the president has also said that he has not made any speech to just say, yep, I give up, I'm out. Because he's easily 39, 40 points behind. Very easy to get if he gets the right states, but he has to get them in a landslide. He hasn't gotten it. Pennsylvania is going to be the nail in the coffin for either Biden or Trump. Just because they're at 96%, everything's handed in, he can easily get the votes to quickly jump the 16,000 or more so that he can easily win Pennsylvania. And then from Pennsylvania, he can go on to, say, Arizona. Or if when they recount, they find Trump in the lead, he can also get Georgia. Then he's not out of the race. That's right there is 37 points. And that would bring him well up. I think that would actually bring him to 250-something. But the thing about that is, he has to win these states. And even in the beginning, Trump lagged behind Biden. Biden shot right ahead from the first day of this election. And a lot of people noticed that, and immediately, I gotta say it like this. There is no better way to say this. The Trumpers, the people who are like wholeheartedly for Trump, and I get it, he's your president. He's the one you believe should be president. But at the same time, you gotta look at it and go, really? This is the guy you're going for. And they are believing everything Trump has said about counting only the legal votes, not the illegal. How are you an illegal voter? I said this earlier. How are you an illegal voter for going through all the process that you need to vote? Also, he says, if you count the legal votes, we've already won, not the illegal votes. What's an illegal vote? What is an illegal vote? Trump technically is right behind Biden. He's technically, he's 4 million popular people votes down, but still, and we're waiting for Alaska. Excuse me, I will say we're waiting for Alaska. But at the same time, it's like, you want to stop the count right now, blow a hole in your foot, and you want to start making all these lawsuits, you want to start making all this cacophony of bullshit, because you know you lost. You know you lost, and you can't handle the fact that he lost. Plain and simple. So, the second part should be coming up any minute now, so, everyone, hold on to your butts. Sorry that I have to do it this way, and the next part of this audio is going to be a little off, probably going to be different, because Like I've said, I'm trying to relax. I've had a few to drink. Plus, I've had a cigar. I am relaxing hard right now. So, again, thanks for listening to the first part. The second part will be coming up here in just a second. This is day 62 and 63 and 64, where we had to get supplies and also, yeah. So, thank you and everyone. Oh man, phone died again. Thank you and everyone. Hold on to your butts. Hey guys, sorry about that, the little delay. It's actually a couple days since I last recorded the first part of this. I'm actually more wide awake. Actually, I'm a little sick. So, as I was talking in the first part, we were in the election during, like, about the middle, back when they were neck and neck. It is now 5 days later. Technically and absolutely, Trump has been defeated. Biden won 300, last time I checked, 302 to 2014. The 214. And I've talked to a couple guys who live on my block who think Trump is still the winner. He's the best thing since sliced bread. And they refuse to hear. I've noticed something about a lot of Republicans. They want to talk about politics, but the moment you try to speak, they interrupt you. They're like, no, hang on a sec. And then they interrupt you, or excuse me for a minute, let me tell you this. And they interrupt you. They never want to let you finish what you're saying. They want to jump ahead of you and try and throw a bunch of facts on top so that they look like, oh, I am superior. Oh, I am the one who knows this stuff. I'm good. Kind of like what Trump did during the debates. He didn't want Biden to get ahead of him or say something that Trump couldn't walk back or manipulate. That being said, a lot of we have to call him this now, a lot of the Trumpers still think that he has a chance to win. He doesn't. The people who were saying that there was voter fraud and that there was tampering with the ballots have come back to say, no, that was a lie. I was told to lie. I wanted to be famous. Like, that kind of stuff. Also, the fact that Trump is even saying that this election is bogus on Twitter. Follow me at Nightshader7. He's saying that we won. We won. The Republican Party, we won. No. All of the congressmen, other parts of government around the world are acknowledging, yeah, Biden won. Yeah, he's the guy we're dealing with now. Hey, he's the new president. And we are, as I'm recording this, 1, 2, 3, 4, technically exactly 5 weeks away from inauguration, where Biden, and Mrs. Harris, now Vice President Harris, will be sworn in office. In this time so far, in the last week since the election, or in the last 2 weeks since the election, Trump has fired and then put people into positions where they should not be. They are either severely undertrained for the job, have no qualifications for said job, or are so corrupt and are such high Trumpers and Trumper flunkies that this makes Trump have a background where if he wants to do something, they can help him. A lot of people are believing that he is going to try and establish a coup, which means using the military, which he can still use as president, to usurp the presidency from Biden and pretty much say, no, I'm still president, you can get lost. Which the Constitution forbids as kind of being a terrorist, and then he will be sent to either Leavenworth, which is a military prison, or he'll be sent straight to Guantanamo Bay, or even worse, he will be killed on the site, because technically that is an act of terrorism, and he will be a traitor to the country. So I don't know how far it's going to go. And the worst part is Biden is just waiting. He's already got a team in place. So that on day one, all he has to do is get sworn in, and his team is going. They're not waiting for anybody. They're not doing anything but go, 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 go. And yeah, it's funny how Trump, the guy who when Hillary was in, when he was going up against Hillary demanded a recount. He's like, "Oh, it's bogus. She just wants to waste time. She doesn't want me to win. It's kind of petty." And now when it's in reverse, Biden wins, and now he's crying, "I want a recount. I want recounts." Well, isn't that a little bit petty there, Trump? No, it's not. I have that right. But you said this about Clinton. Oh, I don't care about her. This is me. It's getting to the point where it's a giant child who just lost, and the other kid's about to receive his prize, and the other kids just won't let go of it. Most presidents, even single-term presidents, where apparently that's a huge dishonor, which it really isn't. He was president. He got a presidency. He got 4 years. Yeah, it's not 8, but hey, he can't go past 8 anyway. So be glad you got the 4. He got to be president. He should be happy. No, he wants to continue to be president, and hasn't done a very good job. Besides the wall and cutting taxes for the rich, he hasn't done much for people like me. A lot of guys are saying, "Oh yeah, Trump has gotten me money." Funny thing, 4 years of Trump, I make less money working in a foundry, and before a factory for 4 years than I did under Obama for 2 of those years. Yeah, for 2 of those years, at $14 an hour, I was making more under Obama than I was under Trump. And under Trump, I wasn't paying for medical bills that much. I wasn't doing much besides what I needed to get done. But still, I don't even have enough money. I don't get as much money as I used to. Now, I can't wait to see what Biden is going to do, because Biden has already agreed that if you make over $400,000 a year, which I am nowhere near, I'm about 30, maybe 40 right now because of 2 jobs, they're all going to get taxed a fuck ton more, which means it takes a lot of stress off us little guys who pay the same rate. The big guys are finally going to be paying their fair share. It's kind of like back in school where your bully got $10, the kid who came from the nice neighborhood got $5, and you got $2. And they all got to go and pay the same price as you, even though they're supposed to be paying the rich kid with bully with $10 has to pay an extra $1, and the middle class kid has to pay an extra 50 cents. Yet you still had to pay 50 cents at your $2, while the middle kid finds a way to make it only so he pays a quarter, and the bully on top with $10, he only has to spend the same as you, 25 cents. Where is the fairness in that if that's supposed to help the country, which made these people rich in the first place? Can't understand. It's not fair. Especially when the middle and the lower class are getting severely shit on because because rich people keep getting richer and the poor people keep getting poorer. We have more homeless now than what we did back during the Great Depression. Just because not only can they not get jobs, they're underqualified for jobs because they never got to go to school. They're underqualified to do menial tasks, or if you work at McDonald's, you don't make enough to go out and get an apartment. You don't make enough. Or if you do, the place is so shit that it costs more to fix it up every month than it is to live in it. Which means you get to make a choice. Do I call the landlord to get that leaky ceiling fixed that I'd had to pay for? Or do I go and I buy food this month? It's unfair that we're in these conditions. And Trump made it so it was true. I made a video like years ago where Trump was seen walking into a rich people's bar, like high-end bar, where apparently the burgers were like $200 a piece, something like that, something very expensive. And he was on camera saying, "Don't worry, boys, the rich will get richer." And now we have a president who's like, "No, the rich are going to get taxed a shit ton more, and the middle class, you guys are going to stay where you're at, or I'm going to lower it." Plus, he's even said this as well. He is going to be trying to make the legal minimum wage $15. I don't entirely agree with that. I agree with 12, maybe $12.50. Just because, yes, it would be nice to get 15 right off the bat. But also at the same time, the lower guys like, say, McDonald's and all that, which make millions every year, that might hurt them a little bit and they'll start downsizing. Trump had one part of an argument in his debate right. When you raise minimum wage, the government or the economy kind of twitches a little bit. He said it fails. It twitches because, yes, you're getting more money into people's hands, but at the same time, now those companies, which were selling burgers for $2, because now they got to start paying their employees more, now they have to start raising the price, so it goes from $2 to $2.50 or $2 to $3, just so they can pay people the wage they need to. Because I don't know about you guys, had a friend named Ryan who worked 40 plus hours at KFC, McDonald's, and all that stuff, and he made enough to pay his rent, but at the same time, he wasn't making overtime. Imagine if suddenly $12 an hour. They wouldn't be able to afford it. They'd have to downsize, slower kitchens, slower everything. Look at Walmart. They might pay $2 isn't a lot because Walmart is such a large brand name in the United States, but at the same time, it might raise things a few cents or $1, just so they can pay all their staff. Now, we look at it like that. It's going to raise prices. If at 15, if at 12, when it's at 7, that's only a $5 increase, or $4.50 to $5 increase, depending on where he gets it, instead of a giant, almost $8 increase. Yeah, and it's $7 to $8 increase. Which, yes, again, is nice, but then you gotta remember taxes. So right now I make 14. If he raised me up to 15, I wouldn't be getting pushed much out of my tax bracket. But if, say, like at the gas station, I make $10.25, that brings me out of the bracket I'm currently in there into a new one, into a new tax bracket, which then would mean I would get taxed more. That makes it seem like that job isn't worth it then, because it's like, yeah, I make 15, but I'm getting paid at 13. Which, again, it's okay, but it makes everything so much more complicated because, okay, now these people in this tax bracket all got moved up. And now these poor people who were making minimum wage at $7.25 or worked at restaurants who were making about $6 or $5 plus their tips, now they're making about, say, $8. And they're moving up and getting taxed more, which their tips won't cover. It makes everything twitch until things can easily settle back down. And that's that's one thing I don't agree with. The other thing is his green idea. We gotta start going more green. I support the idea. We can add more windmills, we can add more solar power, but there's a sad thing about that. Right now, we're not as energy efficient with our technology. When we receive wind power, we've only received about 40 to 50% of that power that we've created. And the rest of that is to just run the machine. Solar panels are 35 to 44%. Hydroelectric power, which was used for thousands of years, that's only about 30 to 40% as well. Yes, it's a good concept to be doing all this, but at the same time, it's not enough to keep up. If Biden was smart, he'd start doing what Britain was doing and burning trash. You could easily do what they do over there, where you burn the trash, recycle the rubber, recycle the glass as much as you can, what you can pick out. The cars, you bust it down, you recycle the metal, or you just break it down to the point where it can be recycled. It can be turned into powder and then used for something. Like, how hard is it to make iron powder or steel powder, which can be used in automotive industries or something like that? Something that we can use it for. Other than that, it's just very simple. Air scrubbers scrub the air so it's clean. You go out into the oceans, or you pay people. Like, this is an idea for a business I wanted to do. Burn trash like they do over in the UK, and then from that, you can sell all the recycled ash, which they do in Singapore, to make islands, very fertile islands that actually help the ecosystem instead of hurting it. And it reduces the carbon footprint every year, because then you're able to plant trees on it, which then adds roots and it actually firms up the area. Plus, you're making trees which absorb the carbon dioxide in the air. So it's a good idea, but at the same time, Biden wants to renovate certain buildings so the windows are smaller, a little bit smaller, or they're using energy and eco-friendly components like re-siding and all that. He wants to do that to several homes. He wants to do that to several government official buildings. It's a smart idea, but it's going to cost so much that we don't have right now, because Trump has been, yes, I think he made like 1% of jobs just in this year alone. That's good. That's actually pretty okay. But at the same time, we're so far in debt. I think we've reached like $8 or $9 trillion in debt, trillion dollars in debt. If some of the richer people, like say, I don't know, Bill Gates or something like that, would donate $1 million or $1 billion, we could knock some shit down. But no, you're never going to see that. You're never going to see the rich people give up some of their money, which they can easily make back from, like Microsoft. They sell computers, they sell Xboxes. I'm kind of pissed about the Xbox Series X because it was sold out before you can even pre-order it. And even now, they don't have a release date for when they're going to be restocked. It was a bad kickoff. So, yeah. But yeah, no, they make all this stuff for Microsoft. Computers, tablets, Xboxes, all kinds of stuff. They make money hand over fist. Yet they do good things in small batches. Like they got Dwayne Johnson, who helped with the original kickoff 20 years ago of the original Xbox. He and a few other people at Microsoft went to Gamers something. It's an organization where they give sick kids who have, say, cancer or brain defects or whatever landed them in the hospital. It got these kids an Xbox Series X so they can play and kind of forget about their worries and help them out during this hard time for them, which is so nice. But at the same time, you gotta go and look at it like, you guys all have a net worth of several million to almost $1 billion. The most paid actor, Robert Downey Jr., has millions of net worth. You're telling me that you guys can't take, I don't know, 20% of that? So like $500,000, like one of the guys did way back when the country began going into debt, and just pay it off? All the actors in Hollywood, I bet all of them together, plus all the rich asshole businessmen around the country, could easily pay off this debt in a matter of months just by giving up very More than just in taxes. Just here's 500,000. Bam. 2 people. That's $1 million. These people make millions and millions and millions every year. How hard would it be in 4 years if all of them gave up more than what they do in taxes? How hard would it be to start bringing that down? Hell, even having more. I mean, I know I might not be like smart in politics, and I know I might be talking out my ass or out both sides of my mouth. I could be wrong, but tell me, can't the rich people, like Biden says, pay a little bit more than the little guy? And with this eco thing, going back to the main topic I was talking about, we're going to be spending way more money than we got. And you know that most of the money that they're going to be getting from these rich people in taxes is going to be going towards that, instead of going towards the debt or other projects. I will say this, I am very proud. I am very proud to live in a country now where we have our official first, and I think this is a quadruple first woman vice president, first black female vice president. We have the first rescue dog in the White House, and I think there's another first, but I can't remember what it is. It's more than what one can take in. I mean, think about that. We are now in the day and age where we've had a black president. We had Donald Trump, a man who is not even a politician, become a president and was the eldest president since Reagan. Then now we're going to Biden, who with Harris, who is not only first female vice president, black vice president. He's walking in with a dog, because Trump was actually the first president to not have a dog in the White House, who has a rescue dog going into the White House. Plus, I think I spoke a little bit about this. Apparently, before the election, politicians had found out that Biden had put together a team, several little teams, so that on inauguration, like day one of his presidency, they could hit the ground, get things implemented, and go. That way it's not like, oh, we gotta do this now. Okay, we're gonna take a month of that. No, he has it so the moment he goes in, they are going. They are beginning the projects, because they have everything lined up, so it's bam, boom, bam, done. Then it's just implementing the plans and going through Congress or the Senate to get things signed off. Which, sadly, by the time you guys see this on, the 17th, so that's Tuesday, we're still waiting on 2 senators that, if we get the Senate, plus the House of Representatives, we control a Democratic government. That means everything we want to get passed will pass. If we want to get something else done, we can get it done. The Republicans can have a say, but the Democrats, if we say we want peanut butter and jelly for lunch, and the Republicans go, no, we want peanut butter, there is a good chance you're having jelly with that peanut butter, son, because we're going to be able to get shit done. Unlike Trump, who, he didn't have the House, and he decided he wanted to stack the Supreme Court with Republicans. Cool, you can have that. They're for life. Put whoever you want in. Biden tried to stop it because technically we were at the end of Trump's presidency. It should have been Biden. We should have concentrated on getting Biden in first and then choosing the next Supreme Justice. Trump's like, nope, I want to put this guy in, this girl in. Just because he thought, because it's not anymore, it was a landslide victory for Biden. He thought that would be so close, so freaking close, that the courts would have to decide. The moment Biden was able to get to 250, and then Pennsylvania started to pull away from Trump, he won it. Then Nevada decided, we want Trump, we want Biden. Then Alaska wants Biden, and so many other people wanted Biden that it left Trump in the dust at 214, because once he hit 214, he plateaued. He did not go anywhere from there. Which, oh God, was so happy, made me so happy. A lot of my friends and coworkers at work, however, are not very happy about it. My friend Eric, he is a heavy, heavy Trump fan because apparently he believes everything that Trump said, that we're going to give up fracking, which is not what Biden said. We're going to give up old fracking and start fracking in new places instead of continuing to hurt the ecosystem in those locations. And then we are going to go into a more green atmosphere because we are looking at different areas of energy use, such as hydro, solar, and wind, instead of ground energy, which is gas, which, well, even when you're mining it and being very careful, it's very dangerous. If there's a pipe leak, it ruins that ecosystem for years and years. Plus, all of that gas going up into the atmosphere is not good for the planet or us. It's like us sticking a hose from our car into our house and living in that exhaust. So, yeah. So that being said, yeah, that's where we're standing right now. And I'm very happy to know that Biden won. We're finally going to be going in a direction where we're not going to have our heads in the sand wondering, okay, what's going to happen next? Okay, what are we going to do here? What are we going to do about COVID? It still kind of pisses me off that Trump wants to go, oh, I've cured, we have the cure, oh, we did this, oh, we did that, oh, I'm the one who did it, when actually he wanted to fire the one man, Fauci, who had been on top of all this since day one. He's even met up with YouTubers to show videos like Gavin Free with the slow-mo of him counting from 1 to 4, showing the particulates leaving his mouth. And what happens when you wear a mask doing the same thing. Gavin was surprised because guess what? It didn't show any particulates. Maybe one water droplet from his mask. And so small they actually came back from the suction of him speaking. Well, without his mask, he sprayed a cloud, an entire cloud, which after he said 4, hung in the air for about 2 seconds before it started to dissipate. That is, I don't care who you are, that's disgusting. That's how we're going to get sick, that's how we're going to pass COVID around. Ay, ay, ay. Not just that, also, Fauci has been part of other videos where it's like, when he, actually, let me go back to the Gavin Free thing. He actually spoke about going through 3 tests for a vaccine. 2 60% effectivity tests where it actually cured it in 60% of the time, plus 1 70% effectivity test, which again means 70, and the 70 was the one that was looking fine. Last week, I want to say Wednesday or Tuesday, when I watched the news about the vaccines and all that, there is now a 90% effectivity vaccine out there, which is starting to look very, very good. Plus, around the world, people are trying to get into our computers, cyber attacks, to figure out the vaccine so they can use it for around the world. Which I think is hilarious because China, the country that actually created this illness, I will agree with Trump on that. China did create this from a lab. From what I was told, a lab was working on changing a disease so we could cure it in animals. They infected a bat. The bat got out into a market, which then began to spray the food around in the market with its secretions of both guano and urine. Plus, then someone caught it and then began to eat the bat, which then caused people start getting more and more infected. Trump ignored it and thus spread around the world. Most of the world is actually healthy. Most of the world has actually had 0 active cases, or have had like small outbreaks that were quickly handled. The United States is the only place nowadays where you can't go because we have such a high infection rate. I think our record last week in one day was 194,000 men and women infected. And Trump had said in the beginning this was not a big deal. It will pass. It'll be over by Easter. Everything's fine. You don't need to wear a mask. Inject yourself with bleach. Oh, no, I was kidding about that. And over almost 250,000 people later dead on his doorstep from this. And him hardly lifting a finger, telling people it wasn't anything to worry about, but then turning around and telling a reporter for a book, oh yeah, it's terrible, it's way deadlier than the flu, it's airborne, which makes it even harder to kill, yada yada yada, your book ain't gonna be shit, your book was boring. I mean, it's so sad that we had a president, he is no longer president, thank God, but we had a president who would not put the people first to inform them, hey, shit is about to hit the fan. Hey, this is about to go down. Hey, shit is about to hit the fan. Hey, don't panic. Start wearing a mask. Don't go to bars very often. If you're going to go somewhere, make sure you have hand sanitizer and take proper precautions so you don't get sick. If you are sick, stay home. Quarantine for about a week. Before the 2-week thing. Then after the 2-week, okay, now we know it's 2 weeks. Stay home for 2 weeks. He could have easily gotten out ahead of this like Obama and Biden did back with the Ebola virus, back with the swine flu virus. How come those two, which were apparently just as infectious, not as deadly, but as infectious as this, how is it that Obama was able to not only figure out what was going on before anything, alert the population of the United States, and have a task force set up ready to handle this in the United States, yet Trump and Pence was the head of the task force to handle this, how is it that they were able to drop the ball so severely that all these people were infected, and now you can't go anywhere in the United States without it being red or orange. There's no yellow states anymore besides Alaska, because those people are so spread out and in such a wilderness that might be the only safe place to go. And the worst part is the United States of America is pretty much locked. No country will take in Americans at this time, because if they come into the country, we're the ones that are infecting their country. How sad is that? We used to be the ones that say, come all who can. Now people are saying, I'm not going to America. Why? I don't want to catch this shit and get killed. I mean, it's so heartbreaking that I know for 4 years we've had this guy, and now he couldn't do his job, and now he's fighting Biden left, right, tooth and nail, just trying to hang on to a presidency he should not have, and he never should have. But everyone said, oh no, he's gonna do a great job, he's not a politician. Funny enough, way back when, he registered as a Democrat, now he's a Republican. The whole time Biden was speaking during the first debate, oh, you just lost the left, Joe. He didn't lose the left. The left stuck behind him, while during the election and after the election, the moment that everything was cast and said, yep, Biden's your new president, oh shit, look at that. All the Republicans jumped ship. They all said, nope, you're on your own, buddy. You lost. Sorry. Put their hands up and like, nope, I'm out. And now, again, Trump is fighting so hard to keep his presidency, and from the looks of it, about to be ready for a coup. I really hope he does, because I would love to see the first American president who formed a coup arrested and put with guys who he had led technically, who he had called their brothers and sisters who had died in war losers and suckers. I would love to see him put in a prison with them, even as a highly guarded individual. I can see guards beating the shit out of him for saying that about their men and their fellow brothers in arms. So, yeah, I know I only got about a little bit about a minute before the end of this tape. Yep, actually right about now is a minute. So I just want to say, because all I'm doing right now is mining around in the dirt and getting things ready for the next episode, which I've actually just finished recording. I just finished recording. That one's actually a little bit of a slower episode. We did find a few things that are kind of cool. Hell, we even found another part of the 44 Magnum. I'll spoil that in here. But not only that, we talked about a recent development, because I am recording this on the 15th of November. Technically, if I wait till the so that would be 15. No, I'm actually in the middle of the month. Never mind. So yeah, I'm smack dab in the middle of the month here. So you guys are gonna, in the next episode, which will be presented on the 1st of December, you guys are gonna hear a little bit of news from me. So without further ado, only a couple seconds. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, leave a like down below. Subscribe today. And please remember, have fun playing in the dark. I'll see you guys in the next one. Night.
AudioMicro.com